All right, then let's start. Good morning, everyone. My name is Balaji Ramachandran, and I'm the founder and CEO of SoftClouds. And we have a great product called Kapture, which I'm going to talk more about it and how this knowledge management platform is being revolutionized by generative AI, and that's what we are going to talk about it. And so mainly the topic that we are going to cover today is basically the industry landscape of knowledge management and the generative AI combined, how it's going to, impact the entire industry. So as we all know, AI is a vast field. And, in this webinar, we are going to cover the industry landscape and opportunities available for the knowledge management industry due to the generative AI, and that's what we are planning to do. And there'll be a couple of polls coming during this presentation. Not a lot, a handful of polls. I humbly request all of you to participate in this one so that we all can learn from this session. Brief, the history of AI, right? So we all think that the AI. Some of us are thinking that AI is, it's a pretty new terminology or technology or topic that popped up after the Chat GPT and things like that. But most of us know that, it is not new. And AI, to be honest, even it is predated to ancient days also, where, the type of AI technology or human-like thinking machines were there in Greek and other mythologies. But in the recent times, we all know that Alan Turing created that massive machine, and he was pretty confident in creating this AI-generated testing machines during the World War period and things like that. So it all happened in 1950s, and then in the 1980s, when the expert systems were built. The early stage of expert system, at some level, AI was included in that one. And then in the late 90s came in the machine learning and topics of that, and fast forward to 2000s, with the help of GPUs, we were able to analyze the massive amount of big data and deep learning and all these things really revolutionized the AI in the recent times. So as you can see in this diagram, the three main pillars of AI technology is basically expert systems, and then natural language processing and machine learning. These three things contributed to the advancement of AI, what we are seeing today. And then if you see how we got in here and where it is heading, right? So basically, the three stages of AI, in the first stage, as I mentioned, with the help of expert systems and all these automation, we were able to see some of the machine learning things in this world, like Siri and Alexa and Cortana, and vastly, the speech recognition, text and text to speech, and all these things happen in the stage one. And then currently, today we are in stage two, where what we call it is artificial general intelligence, AGI, right? That's where we are. And then where we are talking about mission is not just learning, and mission is also having some sort of an intelligence. And then the third stage is basically ASI, which is basically extreme level of our super intelligence, machines getting super intelligence and things like that. But at the same, what I wanted to say is basically, in my view, it is important to recognize that while we are, to me, I think we are in ANI today, is currently in use, and AGI is the goal for the future, or I would say a near future. But to me, ASI remains still a theoretical concept, and maybe in the field of AI, it will continue to advance, and then the ongoing research and things like that will definitely push the boundaries of what AI systems can achieve. That is ASI. To me, I would say, we are personally, to me, we are in ANI stage, and we are trying to get into AGI is what I'm feeling. And ASI is still much more theoretical. And I'm pretty much sure, we will get there for sure. And hopefully we'll get there safely, securely, and also it helps all of us to move forward, not backward. So what is generative AI, right? It's a big question. We all are asking, we are asking these questions in the corporate boardrooms, and also in the hallways and break rooms, and as well as even, we are talking with our friends and families in the parties and things like that. So what is generative AI? And if you want me to explain in a very simple, non-technical way, right? We have seen all these magical objects flying and popping up in Disney movies and animation movies. So think about, a super powered magical object that can look at things and understand what's going on around it, and then reproduce it, and not only reproduce it, just a copy of it. And also it can put some more intelligence on top of it, and it can give you a better results on top of what is the original content, or original picture, or original video, or original of anything. So a super artificial intelligence that can take and process vast amount of data and automatically understand the models, and then produce the super better models and things like that. So that is very in a simple, non-technical way. For example, you can feed a system of hundreds and thousands of images of cat, and it can not only recreate all those models or same copy of those cats images, and also it can come up with the more beautiful cats, more healthy cats and things like that. So it can automatically apply additional data points on top of the original content and provide you the better results. So when you think that way, the AI is, generative AI is super important, and as well as, it is pretty cool things to do, and it can serve and help a variety of industries in many different ways. It can create a lot of content, a lot of things to variety of industries. For example, as you can see, it can help art industry. It can help reproducing a lot of content. It can create videos and things like that. And also, in a bad ways, it can be used in bad ways also, by creating some deep fakes and things like that, which we are seeing day in and day out, right? So the technical aspects of it, right? Training the large language models, it is happening every single day. A lot of big companies are working on it, and then the system is getting better and better and better, and every day. And the evidence of the ChatGPT's success the last few months is a proof for how generative AI is constantly and in a fast manner, how it is impacting our normal life, and as well as the work life. So with that, probably, we'll have one more question to you, and so that you can take one more poll. Okay, so pretty good answers, and pretty cool. Okay, so let me go on to the next topic. Okay. What is the actual some of the statistics of generative AI, right? Probably you are seeing these statistics, in every blog that you read and things like that. So the market size, definitely it is growing, and probably by the time I put together this deck, and by now probably it would have already increased, to be honest. And the key thing is basically how the customer service professionals are feeling about this AI. One of the areas where it is going to really help or impact, AI going to impact, is the customer service areas, which is 78% of the people think, when you are dealing with the customers and their sentiments and the type of problem or repetitive problems that you are trying to solve, with the vast amount of data and somebody else, the human-like brain thinking about it, thinking and processing the data and providing solution automatically is huge thing. And no wonder the customer service professionals are very positive about it. And one of the statistics that I read, which is not on the slide, is basically, is the prediction is that the 25% of the workforce across all industries, right? In total, 25% of workforce will be impacted by 2030 because of generative AIs and in AI in general, which is a staggering number. Definitely some more automations are coming in, and these AI bots and AI-based systems are going to take care of some of the works that we are doing, a repetitive work that the human workforce is doing today will be taken care by the bots for sure. About the impacting areas, what are all the areas that within the enterprise world, what is impacting? As you can see, the top right corner is basically the customer service and customer operations, and as well as the software engineering and code development and things like that are pretty much going to be impacted or influenced by AI. I don't want to say impacted in a negative way, but there'll be a lot of automations are possible, and I'm looking forward to that one. And also, several other areas. For example, if you have a complex pricing for your products, it can be automated and it can be adjusted, and pricing can be changed. The seasonal pricings can be changed based on your users' buyer history, your competitive history of products, and things like that. So a lot of opportunities are there for enterprise applications and generative AI, supply chain, and industry 4.0, how it can definitely, it's going to have a lot of positive impact on manufacturing, supply chain, and a lot of areas. And the other thing is basically one other industry I'm keenly watching is legal industry, right? Think about, in 10, 15 years, probably the robots can provide the judgment to the cases, because if you feed all the past case history and how it was executed and what was the verdict and things like that, your bots can easily understand. And when similar situation comes in, the bots can easily provide the solution or quicker solution across the board worldwide. If you see the number of pending cases in all these courts in every single country, if bots can be given and based on the feeder data, the legal industry is going to get revolutionized, in my view, like many of the other industries like customer service and things like that. Who are the players? It is not many. We know these three big players today, as of today, and of course, some new players are coming in as we speak. Definitely, the Chat GPT has a upper edge on it, and because they completely revolutionized this space, and thanks to the contribution from Microsoft, early adapting Chat GPT, they are also seeing some good results because they both are using the same system and platform and things like that. Bard is little behind, but they are catching up. But as I said, the AI takes two aspects. One, the availability of vast amount of data, and second thing is basically analyzing and putting your algorithm and then making the system to make models and then use the model. So in that aspect, Google and Bard, they have tons and tons of data. They already crawled and they have a vast amount of data. It's about the time they catch up with ChatGPT with their algorithms and search results and things like that. But this is the current landscape as of now. So, what areas, our current status of ChatGPT, where they are really, the companies are thriving, is basically, as I said, the text, image, and code and things like that. Those areas, we are seeing a lot of early adoption to that one. Now we see a lot of marketing people generating content, and even the movie industries and things like that. They can generate the scripts and things like that. So mainly that the text and image are in extreme good stage, where you can create models, and then you can ask for different outputs and things like that. So I see a significant progress made on that one. But as I said, there's limitless potentials are there. For example, how I'm seeing is basically the experiments, the labs are going to have super fun in the coming days, because they will have any type of lab, let it be a medical lab or any other chemical labs and things like that, where the data is vital. So the experiments are going to spike, and they are going to produce much better results in the coming years because of generative AI. And then, of course, the metaverse is going to get get better, because with AR and VR and AI, the combination of AR, VR, and AI is going to be super powerful. And with the devices, with all the sentiments, also you speaking with your families across the Atlantic Ocean, with AR, VR powered AI, with the feelings and sentiments and all these things, it's almost going to produce magical moments. So I see a lot of potential for metaverse and things like that. And also emotional thing, applying emotional thing, and it's going to really make everything to the next level, the human relationship interaction and things like that. And also I'm envisioning some of the things like a lot of professions is going to have AI co-pilot, right? So for example, chief marketing officer can have an co-pilot, the AI-based co-pilot, so that instead of subordinates and assistants, they are going to have co-pilots in many industries. The lawyer, medical, CEO, everybody can have a co-pilot. The AI-based co-pilots is what I'm seeing. And also, last but not least, the other thing what I'm envisioning is, more AI-driven, decentralized, autonomous organizations, even having AI in the board and things like that, is coming in the near future. So that's what I see where it's heading. So now let's come to the topic. Now we set the stage for AI and where we are heading, and what is the benefits and how vast it is and how powerful it is, right? So now let's get to the knowledge management. So knowledge management, industry, we all know, it has been there forever, and we are creating traditionally the knowledge, we always in a reactive manner, and something happens or something in very little predictive knowledge is created. If you are a manufacturer, you may be creating some, but when always, when the actual rubber meets the road and things like situations, you are creating in a reactive manner, a lot of things are getting created. And also the tagging is very reactive, and it is very legacy way is how it works, right? And also a lot of information is still a tribal knowledge and with people's brain, and it is not shared. The knowledge creation is one set of problem, and sharing the knowledge is another set of problem. That's what the industry is going through. But we all know that how knowledge is very important for your customer support operations, and also enabling your customers and your partners self-serve without making that extra call or chat or something like that. But the traditional knowledge is always coming up with a lot of challenges, like knowledge creation, knowledge curation, knowledge delivery, and constantly improving and updating the knowledge. All these things are very manual process and time consuming, and that's why the knowledge management platforms, today's knowledge management platform is basically used in more reactive manner than in proactive manner. So the modern way with the AI, right, how it is going to help is basically it's going to in my view, it's going to revolutionize the entire knowledge management practices, right? By leveraging AI kind of technologies, organizations can streamline the knowledge management processes and improve knowledge sharing, and empower employees to access and contribute to the collective knowledge of the organization. more effectively. That's what I feel. So they can easily go and get the knowledge created through multiple sources. It's not only you need to have a natively created knowledge, because the knowledge is available in many systems in today's enterprise. For example, the customer problem or an operational procedure is just doesn't need to be only a PDF document, 3-page PDX document. It could have been discussed with a couple of other service request tickets or case tickets, or it can be available in your company intra-company Teams chat, or it could be in Jira tickets, or it could be in SharePoint, anywhere, multiple places. So now the knowledge is available in many places in a structured and unstructured way. And the AI-powered knowledge, what it's supposed to do is basically it should collect all the knowledge in and then create this huge they crawled index for your entire company, so that it can render the search results in a nicer way, not as always as a big document presented to the end users, where they need to find that one paragraph that they are looking for a specific scenario within that 70-page documents or something like that. So in all ways, knowledge creation, curation, auto tagging, auto translating, in many ways, the knowledge AI is going to help the knowledge management industry. For example, auto generation, auto tagging, as I said, and also one other thing is modularized content. I have worked with several enterprises where we deployed knowledge management, where I have seen, particularly in automotive industries and things like that, they used to maintain the manuals, owner's manuals and operational manuals from the cars they built from 1970s and things like that. If you see, from the technological change of it, there may be very smaller changes from a facelift from one model to another model, not entire complete change, unless it happened only recently with the electric car. Until then, for more than 50 years, the automotive industry never changed. But if you go and see their amount of content they have, a lot of repetitive content, because the knowledge management was not providing a modularized content delivery and content creation. So because of that, the same content is repeated whenever the new facelift came in, and they changed only 5% of the content. Now, if you see your search engine, your index, the index is pretty huge because of all these legacy knowledge management platforms. So how the generative AI can revolutionize KM, right? So when you have a system with a super intelligent systems that can learn from the vast amount of data and how it is used, how it can be presented to the audience based on the audience type and things like that, the generative AI can revolutionize KM in many, many areas, right? I'm super excited, particularly for this KM industry, as we built this product a few years ago, and we are in a pretty good shape. So, for example, automatic content creation and as well as the content delivery, not only to a specific space they have to go, the content can be delivered across your enterprises through many, many systems. And also personalizing it. If your employee is asking a question, or your partner is asking a question, or a customer is asking a question, you can render different type of data to them according to their role and according to what they are looking for. Super personalized information can be rendered, and also how we traditionally deliver knowledge can be completely changed. It can be very conversational instead of just throwing in a bunch of documents as a search result. So knowledge is going to be definitely impacted, or it's going to benefit a lot because of generative AI kind of technologies. So the generative AI and KM, that is, in my view, that's the need for the future. Simple AI is okay, but a traditional KM is not okay, because we are facing a lot of problems. But when you combine this knowledge management and AI, and it's going to be really revolutionize the amount of knowledge you have any particular enterprise is having internally, and making it available to the wide spectrum of people instead of just keeping it with only a smaller set of people. So making it available in a very personalized manner to the employees, partners, and the customers, it's going to be huge, and that's where we are heading in this industry. So based on all these thoughts and things like that, what we did was basically we created this knowledge management platform called Kapture, and which is very flexible and very modern tool, and also got integrated with the AI platform, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about what it can do for us, right? Or what Kapture is all about. I'll take a minute to give you a few more seconds so that you can. Okay, looks like mostly you're using pretty traditional systems. Okay, so now, well, the Kapture, I'm going to talk about more about the Kapture platform. What it does is basically, first of all, it provides an enterprise search platform. It is not just only the data that you created or articles you created and used to the workflow and published and things like that. That is 1990s way of creating content. And our system through generative AI technology, we are crawling multiple data sources, including some databases and applications like SAP and Oracle and things like that. And also, we built the pre-built connectors with a lot of modern day systems. And also we made all this auto tagging, auto translation, and modularized content, so that the amount of data you create is not huge, at the same time very relevant to your end users, and it is providing the smaller set of search results, but it is giving more accurate results. In the traditional knowledge management system, it provides a lot of content data as a search result, but that's not your customers are looking for, or the end users are looking for. When they search for an information, they really wanted more personalized or more focused search results. So that's what when we built this Kapture, our goal was not to give 7 pages of search results. We wanted to give only 7 documents or 7 results instead of 7 pages. But we want that to be more accurate, and that's what we have made using AI technologies. We made Kapture achieve that one. So as I said, the enterprise search and today's enterprises are having a vast amount of data. So 20 years ago, the storage was super expensive stuff. Today, storage is the least expensive component in the hardware spectrum. So that made a lot of companies to collect a lot of data, and they are keeping it in silo. So collection is only one aspect of it, and you have to make that collected data available to your audience, and based on their roles and based on their what they are looking for and things like that. So what we did in our enterprise search, so we are crawling data not only from the natively authored content. We are crawling a lot of information from multiple systems, external systems, and even the openly available internet content. And we are creating this huge, massive index, and then we are passing it through the AI when a user is asking a question, so that based on this the already trained LMM models, we are able to give the search results very specific. Search results, which is more relevant and more personalized to the end users. So that's how we were able to solve the traditional challenges of knowledge management, and as well as on top of it, we are putting this AI flavor to that one. So it is giving more futuristic search experience to our users. And as I said, modularized content is very key, because the way how the products are getting developed and how the variations are coming with a lot of industries, not only in automotive, any electronics or any high tech or any manufacturing, even software, right? So a lot of repetitive content is killing the index size to a lot of enterprises. So when you create and modularized content, you don't need to recreate or re-index the 90% of the content that you're using from your previous version of your product. So you can only create that, change the 10% content, and then let the AI-powered UI take care of how to present that data, the combined data to the users, right? And also one other thing is basically, when we talk about rendering the results, we have to think about the summarization of the content, right? Nobody has time today to go and read even the search result document is 2 pages. Nobody has any patience to read the 2 pages document. So they just want to see only the specific area of within the document they want. So what the AI models can do is basically, based on the question, it can automatically summarize the content, 2-page content or 20-page content, and it can give them the summary of the 2-page document. And then, based on that, either the user can deep dive into the document, or if the summary helps them to solve the problem, we are saving a lot of time from the customer support agent and all these analysts and things like that. So that's where, they modularized the content and things like that, auto tagging, and as well as translation and personalized experience can be achieved using Kapture platform. That's what we have done using our Kapture platform. And as I said, the Kapture generative AI enabled chatbot, it provides that kind of an interactive experience for the knowledge document instead of just throwing in, multi-page documents into to the users. So with that, where we see as a thought leaders, as you are working on your poll, we have a lot of vision and for the knowledge and AI, and where we think in our thought process and our for knowledge management in 2030, right? Is we are talking about 6 C's that is going to revolutionize the knowledge management by 2030, right? So, of course, the creating and collaborating, connecting, consistent, and create and curate of the 6 C's are going to constantly evolve with the help of AI technologies. Across the board, the entire knowledge management industry is going to get super beneficial out of these AI platforms that that can create or understand a lot more models. So it is going to help the manufacturers and several other industries and services industry and legal and several things. It can crawl the data, understand the data, and create a model, and then apply additional thoughts on top of that existing model, and provide better results to the end users within the knowledge management platform like a Kapture. So to summarize, the future where we are thinking how the knowledge management and AI can combine where it can take us is basically definitely the knowledge sharing and creation and curation and auto tagging of content and collaborative knowledge development. All these things are going to be possible because of generative AI and a modern knowledge management platform like Kapture. And of course, seamless integration and things like that is going to help. I will just finish my conversation with one example. I was talking with the CEO from another pharmaceutical company a few weeks ago. He asked me the question, how the Kapture and generative AI can help them. So this is the example I gave them, very simple one, but very powerful. Let's say that, you have, you are a pharmaceutical company, and then patients are using your pills and things like that. When they are coming and then asking for a side effect of a particular medicine and things like that, the traditional knowledge management system, what it can do is basically it can give a generic the side effects information, whatever was created by the authors and things like that. Think about, once you crawl, let's say that, they are using a CRM system and things like that. Think about Kapture kind of a platform, which takes that question and also understand who is asking that question, and then understanding or analyzing or searching the underlying database about what medications he is taking, how long he is taking, what other medicines he is taking, and things like that, and analyzing and giving him a very personalized search results or answer to that question, what side effects he can expect, because patient A may be taking only one medicine and patient B can be taking 3 medicines. And giving an answer to a generic answer is not enough for today's end users. So by analyzing this kind of powerful data, enterprise data, and as well as the knowledge, and collecting the information and passing it to generative AI, and summarizing that answer to more specific to that particular use case or personalized delivery is more powerful. So when I told that one to the CEO, he said, "Oh my God, can you do that one?" And definitely, a few years ago, it was not possible. The customer support user has to go and hop through multiple systems and then try to find the answer, or it is easy for them to give a very generic answer and then close the case. But today, with the knowledge management and generative AI, we can deliver for every single question. We can not only get that data from multiple enterprise data sources and collect it, and in real time curate it, and as well as and summarize it to a very personalized delivery. So that is what the future of generative AI and KM to me, and that's where we are heading. And definitely, I feel that, we are heading in the right direction. It's going to revolutionize the knowledge management industry. That's what I have today to talk. And with that, I'll take some questions or any thoughts on this topic and conversation.
Hey, Bala. We actually received a couple of questions.
Sure.
Yeah. So first one is, what are the expert opinions on reducing biases that are natural to creep in? And then, part of that question is that through machine learning? And how do you continue to improve the control on output?
So, can you repeat the question, Renee?
Sure. What are the expert opinions on reducing biases that are natural to creep in? And is that through machine learning? And how do you continue to improve the control on output?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's one of the challenges, right, of technologies like this. Again, creating more positive and better models is what I feel like, the option for that one. Still, there are a lot of companies the researchers are going on and how to find out the deep fake and biased opinions and things like that. So the training more positive models and is what going to, in my view, that's a way of controlling that one. I agree that this threat is there, and definitely training more and more models with the more vast amount of data is the only option, I feel. And definitely, having an higher controlled accessibility to people who are providing and such data is also very important. And companies should, enterprises should really pay attention to that. And what information, where is the data source, and which can be a trustable data source that you are using for your modeling is very important. Otherwise, you're going to see a lot more polluted data. And I hope we all saw this last week. All the enterprises met with government, U.S. government, and then agreed to put more safety measures and slow down and put some bells and whistles in the process. Hopefully, they are serious about it and they do that one which is needed. That's the only way to avoid this bias and fake information getting modeled in the AI platforms. Okay. Any other questions, Renee?
So it looks like, Bala, we just received 2 new questions. So first of all, what strategies would you use to control token associated costs? And
To be honest, we have seen in many industries, and the cost as of now, it is a little bit higher in my view. As it's commoditized more and more, I feel like the B2C side of the cost will go down. From B2B side of it, we all saw last week and last few days, Microsoft and Salesforce and a couple of other companies released their pricing model for B2B, like $30, $40 per users and things like that. So for B2B, I think hopefully it will be justified because they are going to crawl enterprise data and provide better results and things like that. In my view, the cost of the tokenization cost will go down eventually when more players are in, and also more data crawled and available. And also I feel like it may go it will be industrialized, specific industry-wise data or costing will pop up is what I'm thinking. And the more players come in, I see the cost going down, and even the number of tokens per unit cost will also increase. That's my thought.
okay, looks like there is another question. Let's see. Who are some of the leaders in building these models?
To be honest, it's numerous people are building. There are so many companies are there for every specific functions, as I mentioned, sales, marketing, legal, and things like that, and as well as for specific industries. There are so many players are there, and I was chatting with another C-level people, and they say that in lately, at least in 2023 and to 2025. There'll be numerous companies will be created only with the AI technologies, not any other technologies. So a lot of companies are popping up, and every enterprise is already either started working on it or already have a solution inbuilt. To name Google or Microsoft or Oracle. Oracle is now working with Cohere and kind of companies. So a lot of players are there to a specific function or specific industry, and that's going to be the way. So many players are there in the space now.
Okay, great, Bala. So those are the ones that just came in. Do you have time for like 2 more questions, or?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's see. What are the potential applications of AI in pharmaceutical knowledge creation?
See, I gave one example, about my conversation with the CEO, right? So definitely, we are the patient experience, right? That is going to be a key one, and a lot of personalized service to the pharmaceutical industry is a major thing I'm seeing as an impact of knowledge and AI. So instead of giving a generic answer, which is not going to satisfy the end user or a patient, analyzing their data from multiple systems within the enterprise and then answering a question in a more personalized, summarized way is where I see the impact in the pharmaceutical industry, particularly with AI and KM.
Okay, great. Oh, it looks like there's one last question. What unique features does Kapture offer compared to other platforms?
Wow, it's a great question. So the main thing is, first thing, when we built Kapture, we eliminated all the legacy way of capturing, curating knowledge and delivering the knowledge content. And number 2 is basically we are crawling the entire enterprise data from multiple sources, irrespective of structured or unstructured data. And third one is after the index is created, we are using this powerful AI mechanism to skim through the content or search result and then summarize and provide a personalized result to the users. So that's where, with the KM and AI powered in the platform, that's what I feel like, it is, it's a unique advantage of Kapture.
Okay, it looks like that's it, Bala.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your time in listening to this webinar. And feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. And we'll also follow up with you with our thoughts and questions with you. Thank you and have a wonderful day.